Out of every case that we've done so far, I think that this one is definitely the most important. And it's not just because of who we're facing Franziska von Karma once again. It's more because I think this is the most that we've ever had on the line. Yes, there's always a life on the line. Yes, there's always sometimes even executions on the line. But this time, one of our closest friends, Maya, is on the line. And honestly, I'm very worried for her. We know that she escaped in the last episode. We don't know how far she got. We don't know what's going to be coming in this episode. I'm kind of worried, but let's just go in and try to do this trial the best that we can. By the way, my name is Calvin, also known as Wormer, and this is Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Here he is, on guard. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there is someone out there trying hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer, dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? See, I feel bad for Matt Angard. I don't think he did it. I really don't. I don't think he has it in him to do it. And if he did do it, it was from like an order, probably. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Oh, it's so weird. Mia, we must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning the case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. By the way, I wanted to relay some information that someone gave in the comment section. I was being very upset last time because it seemed that Von Karma had the police in her back pocket, but apparently a detective is assigned to a prosecutor. I did not know this. That goes to show that I do not have a lot of knowledge when it comes, and I've said I didn't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to like actual law and how court proceedings happen. I've never been in a court proceeding, so I don't really know how it works. But that's actually pretty interesting to know, and it kind of makes more sense why she would be the one telling Gumshoe to F off at that point. Oh, the transceiver. It's him. This is Wright. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this... Yeah, what in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win today's contest, if you please. Wait! Please don't be a body part. The kidnapper sent me a present. Mr. Lawyer dude, who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose get longer? Yeah, we were lying. We were lying our freaking head off. I'm worried. I'm definitely worried. Von Karma's out for blood. You know she's out for blood this time. And also, as we said as well, like, yeah, Maya's life is on the line as well, but there's a mountain of evidence against Angard. Like, it looks so bad for him right now. March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Angard. Are the prosecution and the defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Where's Von Karma? I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor. Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot... Was that the gift? That's not a gift. You can't just shoot people. Yeah, Von Karma was annoying, but she didn't deserve a gunshot. What in the fuck? Shot? We should delay this court proceeding then. Somehow, I think this is the present that was... Yeah, that's not right. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage. We've beaten her twice though, so we know her tricks. I think it actually would have been to our advantage to face against her, in my opinion. Didn't need to shoot her. This This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have the answer. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Whew. You're... I thought he'd show up. The music! Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be No! What? Okay, I'm excited. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Oh, yes! Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and I'm familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks this to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt On Guard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right? I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. We are going against Miles Edgeworth in the final case of the second game. If that is not apt for this entire situation and poetic as fuck. It's been building to this as well. It's not just out of the blue, it's been building to this. And like now that I think about it, it kind of makes sense that Miles Edgeworth would be the final boss of this game in a way. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Oh, here's Gumshoe. As always, we start off with Gumshoe. It's good to start off with Gumshoe. Witness, your name and occupation. My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. By the way, I'm not doing voices all the time because sometimes when you have to read for long periods of time, it can hurt your throat. And doing the voices every time I do sometimes can really wane on your throat. For now, after this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. We want to explore the various facets of this case. We must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be my opponent with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Like, show me. Yeah, like here's the thing. I want to see the answer too, but like I'm kind of like my mind and my worries are kind of masked with this enjoyment and this excitement that I'm going against Miles Edgeworth. It's this excitement that I'm actually really excited for. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he will. Like, oh no, I'm not saying he wasn't murdered, but like, I just want to, like, I want to know, like, the details of it. Like, I want him to, like, state the details. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. I do too. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Excuse me? After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their room, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. The reason why I think that it does have something to do with the case is because it was so apparent. It was so apparent what they were doing. So here's the thing. I want to press, not this. Not this. I want to press this after, maybe if we have nothing left, because I think this is just true. But first I want to press this because there's something, I also think that there's something suspicious about the guitar case, Gumshoe. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. I agree, yeah. The Jamming Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. The victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. It's okay, it was a good theory. It wasn't a bad theory. So we have the empty guitar case, so that's good. We added that to the court, yeah, as well. Oh, so we added how we later found out that the guitar case not to do with the whip murder. Again, I want to press this as well because it's clear that it does. They made us, they pointed out, Pearls pointed out, we pointed out, multiple people pointed out to us that it was, like, it's his signature. The guitar is his signature. What convinced you had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carrillo, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So the guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel? Yep, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. Our first order of business should be to gather more info from his testimony. But there might be a trap set up for us somewhere. Maybe. However, setting off his traps is a part of a lawyer's job too. If you say so. Of course, we're supposed to escape from them too, wouldn't you say? So let's press on the third statement. Again, I think it's pretty straightforward, but like it's the only one that like out of the three. The cause of death wasn't that because Mr. Carrillo was stabbed in the chest. Only a careless amateur believes something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, real pro's attention would be drawn here to this bandana. What bandana? Oh, it's around his neck? Bandana, sir. That's the thing tightly wrapped around his neck. What? Ah, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Okay, judge. Get a new judge in here. Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We've a crafty murder on our hands here. Autopsy report added to the court record. Time of death 8:15. Cause of death strangled with a scarf and stabbed with a knife. That would have been information that would have been nice to know before we went into the court case. I believe that is enough. Oh, is it? It's enough? First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Mr. Marangard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Yes, I'm scared and excited. Very well, Detective Gumshoe. Please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. So, again, well, you see, and we also talked about this in the comment section of the last episode as well. What was brought to my attention was that Von Karma is the worst parts of her father and the best parts of Miles Edgeworth mixed together. It's just that sometimes the worst parts win out. Edgeworth is all the good parts, in my opinion. While he is kind of like obsessed with winning and was obsessed with winning, he is just a goddamn good lawyer like all of the time. Like he's so good. And that's like what you were seeing here as well. He was able to like clear up all of that confusion, like not all that confusion, but end that testimony like so quickly just because he realized there was nothing more to talk about in that situation. You gotta love it. You know, you have to love it. You know? I don't know. Marangard and Juan Carrillo were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's the motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the jamming ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja's costume and found in Mr. Marangard's hakaba. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder? Are you sure he wasn't just eating a steak? What do you mean? So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Bears the victim's blood and Marangard's fingerprints in the grip. Gatewater is engraved. Again, it's a hotel knife. It's a knife that he found in the hotel, which means that like he didn't buy this knife. He was eating his steak with it. And there's this button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this button is also covered in blood? Yes, and we know the blood on this is the victim's blood, sir. What? There we go. Was ripped off his costume, is covered in Corita's blood, found in Marangard's hakaba. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, Wright? I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Again, like, there's a difference between the way he says it and when Von Karma says it, I feel like Von Karma is deliberately trying to move forward us, but he's like just trying to get us off our game, I suppose. Well, first of all, I want to go to this statement here. Where is it? here right away. I'm sorry, but it says Gatewater on the knife. This is like, I thought this was basic, and I'm not trying to act like smart because I failed multiple times last episode, but like, I thought this was like a basic thing. Like, to me anyway. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument is that this was premeditated murder. Is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand. Yeah, that's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh? It has Gatewater seal, a Gatewater seal set into the handle. Gatewater. I think I heard the name somewhere before. Get this guy off the case. Please. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... Oh, I love when he laughs. You can laugh at me any day, Edgeworth. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What did I do? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to realize this. But I didn't... Oh. I'm sorry, Gumshoe. The question is, where did this knife come from? Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Quitty's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that isn't correct. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. His knife is still there. Yep, his knife is still there. There's a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world does this knife come from? It's obvious at this point. But I knew this, right? I knew that he was eating his steak with this. If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Marangard. Especially what was on top of the table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? We investigated the leftover dishes for the fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Marangard's knife was missing. Mr. Marangard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. You're good, Edgeworth. You're good. I mean, you're good. Like, what else can I say? Mr. Edgeworth, absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. I agree with him. I know that it was taken from the room. I don't think it was him that took it from the room, but I said this before. I do think, and like, I'm not trying to be like, I knew it. But like, we said it before. I think we were saying last episode too. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well, Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel is his will bring out the sound of our defeat. Wait, it's game over? Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? Do we? Do we? There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. What? Something that the court has yet to see. I will say this one more time. I do not feel the trial needs to continue at all. However, I'm giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Oh my god, you may now present one and... Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show the court. What it... We have to present... Okay, let's think about this first. We have to present evidence that shows that this wasn't premeditated? Is that what we have to do? Because that seems like the... Like, to me, like... Like... I'm trying to think here. Well, yeah, okay, 1 second. Okay. The wine glass. The picture, like, we know this... Okay, I have a save. If I fail this, I fail this. The reason I think it's the wine glass is because, to me, it's interesting to the situation because the whole room is trashed. Right? But the drink is left intact. To me, right, if he went into the room to stab him, but then ended up strangling him with his bandana, there would have been much more of a struggle. Right? Right? This is probably so wrong. Please be right. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. Did I get it right? The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Well, yes, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on the top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that not falling over with everything else is the wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Okay, that's good. Because I was wondering, like, how would this prove that it's not premeditated? But I guess, like, we should talk about, like, it just kind of, like, moves the court case a little bit forward so we can talk about it a bit more. They're not impressed. Impressed. What do you all have to say? Ah, well, yes. It is a little peculiar. Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. No, never. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime scene took place? Excuse me? By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily have shocked. She's so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? Miss Andrews. I don't wonder if it will say it here, but I don't think it will. But we know Miss Andrews. Miss Andrews seems to have it all together. An intelligent woman who seems to have it all together. While it is a facade that she puts up, and we found out it is a facade, she is very good at keeping everything intact and keeping everything together. There is no way Miss Andrews would do this. Miss Andrews would not do it. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point to it with certainty. They just might fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. That's true. You've turned the situation on its head again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it. What? Oh, shit. You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then... Of course it has been thoroughly inspected. For fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left in this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims, nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews. So I was completely wrong. I was completely out of... Okay. What? Wine glass updated. Found next to victim. I'm shocked. I am actually shocked by that. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body would left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Miss Agrita. Oh, she's so cool! But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. I suppose so. Yes, okay. That makes sense. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Excuse me? Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. What, Edgeworth? The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. Oh no. I think I know who it is. I think Edgeworth wants to win decisively. Fuck. I'm actually... Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Sure, go on. State your name and occupation. Witness! Your name and occupation, please. Gotcha! The face of Edgeworth. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? And with that note, we're going to end the episode here, and we're going to cross-examine this person when we come back. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.